Nami and Robin debuted on the English version of One Piece Treasure Cruise on the 28th of June 2020. This character kicked off the 60 million download celebration in the game, which brought along much more engaging events compared to modern day Treasure Cruise, including a dedicated website, bingo events, and even useful free-to-play characters. The summonable characters included in this batch were characters such as Tashigi, Captain's kindness towards children, Lady Alvida, the genius jester's partner, and this batch included 2 Sugo-Fest exclusive characters, and in today's video we'll be covering Charlotte Pudding, Love and Separation. In this series, we'll be traveling back in time to experience some of the older Sugo-Fest exclusive characters in their prime, aiming to show just what it was like to use these characters on their debut. I hope you enjoy the video, and without further ado, let's enter the Legends of OPTC. So thank you very much for tuning in to yet another episode of the Legends of OPTC. Looking at last week's episode, we did have a look at Nami and Robin. Now, Nami and Robin was definitely a really powerful legend on initial release, and this character was not alone. This character debuted alongside a secondary Sugo-Fest exclusive, which actually saw a lot more play compared to what Nami and Robin provided. And this character here, Charlotte Pudding, introduce a brand new mechanic to the game, and still to this day she is the only character in the game that has the capabilities of doing what she does. So I think that this character holds a lot of value in One Piece Treasure Cruise, and you know, when this character first came out, yeah, a lot of people were excited for this unit, people wanted to trial her out, but like, to be honest, she actually has seen like a little bit more play as time has progressed. Of course, with the current meta of how things are going in Treasure Cruise, where, you know, you kind of focused on the booster meta, where, you know, you got the cycle of the regular events coming out. Pudding obviously isn't very good in that type of sense, but when we had the older style events of Colosseums and Clashes that would release like every single month, characters such as Pudding would actually be very useful in content such as that, where you're not focused around running booster style characters and you had a little bit more creative freedom in terms of what you built for your teams. Pudding was very good in that scenario. So let's actually discuss what this character actually does. So she's an int cerebral shooter, and her captain ability is very simple, boosting the attack of int characters by 3.5 times. You get a 4.25 times boost instead if you've got a matching slot, 1.25 times HP, psi slots are beneficial for your int characters, and then boost the chances of psi slots appearing. So it's a very interesting effect, basically just attack boost, HP boost, and more natural matching slots. That's essentially what it is. Nothing really too noteworthy here. Of course, remember, super types and super classes were not revealed in the game yet at this point, so unfortunately she doesn't have that. Her crewmate ability is very good, being able to resist 10 turns of special bind and 10 turns of special reverse on herself. Very, very good ability to have. And then we get to her special, which is, as I said, the most important reason for Pudding to be basically dedicated for a whole video for. So her special ability would change empty slots, block slots, and badly matching slots into matching. Changes the orb of this character into a matching slot, so no matter what, even if you don't have an empty block or a badly matching slot, she guarantees herself a slot. And then reduces special cooldown of all characters by 1 turn, which is good. And then the really unique ability where it says, if this character has no stored buffs, copies one selected buff and advances this character's special cooldown to max. But then it does say that if this character has a stored buff, reapply that buff for the duration of 1 turn. So yeah, this is a really cool ability. So as it mentions here, very similar in a sense to what Nami and Robin were doing, where you could use their switch ability and whatever slots you had on your team, you could store them for later. This character does that kind of thing, but for a buff on your team. So if you've got like an attack boost, if you have an orb boost, if you've got a chain lock, if you've got a conditional boost, if you've got a chain addition, whatever buff you may have, whenever you use her special ability, you can select one of your buffs that you currently have. Let's say you activate Nami and Robin's ability, hypothetically speaking. Let's say you use Nami and Robin. Their special ability gives you a 2.5 times orb boost for dex and int characters for 1 turn. You could then go ahead and activate your Pudding special ability, which allows you to select the orb boost that Nami and Robin provided. And then after you select that buff, her cooldown actually goes to max straight away. And this means you could then use the special immediately if you would like, but what you would do is that you would keep the special, not activate it, because this orb boost, remember, only lasts for 1 turn from Nami and Robin, so you do your burst turn and all that. The next turn, you could then activate the special ability of Pudding once again, and whatever you stored immediately gets applied again for 1 turn. So you could get like a secondary activation of whatever buff that you just activated in the previous turn. Really cool ability to do that. And the cool thing about this as well is I'm pretty certain that this does not activate enemy interrupts. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't. I could be wrong about that one. Either way, it's a really powerful ability to use buffs over multiple different turns. Like, you could use an attack boost on like stage 2, and then on stage 5 you could activate the attack boost once again. It's a really cool ability, and remember, every time you activate the special, no matter what, you will always do the orb change, and you always give the cooldown reduction. Of course, when this character got a super evolution, this character did get a slight buff, and with level limit break as well, being able to remove bind and despair duration by 3 turns. So that was a really cool effect. And then also the buff actually lasts for 2 turns when you activate the special. I didn't even know that. But that's really cool because, you know, every time you activate it, you normally activate it twice in a run. Being able to remove bind and despair is also quite good. So yeah, cool ability there, a little bit of utility. So let's go ahead now and jump into some content utilizing Legend Pudding. Okay, so we are in game now with Charlotte Pudding as our dedicated captain. Now, of course, this one is actually here at level 150. I decided to just devolve my current one, but like, let's be real here. You don't get any additional buffs via level limit break from this character until you super evolve it, so do not mind that. We did the same thing with the friend captain. We also have Shirahoshi and Mancheri. So look, even though these characters have higher stats, it doesn't really matter that much. Jinbei on this team as well for this team. He does have level limit break. He will be at level 150, but his additional effects from getting level limit break don't actually matter for dealing with the content at hand. So just wanted to preface that in case anyone was wondering. So we are going to use V2 Shanks here. V2 Shanks is actually a great unit. Even like, he lasted quite a long time, this guy. The good thing about him is we have a full team of int units, so we're going to get the full buffs from this guy. The special ability that he does as well is incredible, providing good chain boost and a great attack boost and a full board of matching slots. Shanks is going to be a great asset to the team as a friend captain. But of course, we're going to be trying to showcase Charlotte Pudding here against Garp Challenge Whitebeard. So let's go ahead and run it. Hopefully we can get some quick dubs. Okay, so here we are. Garp Challenge Whitebeard. So of course we do need to get our cooldowns ready to go, but luckily for us, we can just go ahead and kill this int guy and get all of our cooldowns ready to go. Of course, we have this dual Big Mom who was very good for these older Garp challenges when they first came out, being able to generate a 1.5 attack and orb boost every single turn for herself made her just hit incredibly hard. Really, really cool character for these Garp challenges back in the day. Especially if you didn't have characters like V2 Sakazuki or V2 Shanks, it definitely made this a lot more difficult. Okay, so Curiel here is going to give us an attack down buff, debuff should I say. This is the reason why I brought Shirahoshi and Mancheri. Their ability here is going to be able to remove the attack down duration by 3 turns. So let's go ahead and remove that. And then also I did bring Perispero support to lock our Cerebral character slots, which we do have quite a lot of them. So being able to keep those for multiple turns is going to be good. Alright, so let's go ahead and kill. Ideally not using Jinbei's slot. Oh, we're going to have to use it. We did get the kill. So it's alright. We're going to still have a lot of matching slots either way. Yep, no problems. So now we've got Haruta. We have Haruta, Atmos, and what's his name again? Rakuyo. That's right, Rakuyo. Okay, so we can actually go ahead and use the switch ability here every single turn to remove some of that special bind, which is going to be good. We do have that attack and all boost on Big Mom, so that's going to be pretty good at killing the Rakuyo. I think I want to deal with Haruta. So let's go ahead and do that. Went ahead and target Rakuyo. That was a really good turn, actually. All things considered, we got through that really, really well. Okay, Atmos, what do you do again? Recovery bind? For 15 turns? Oh, our potential abilities deal with that. That's not going to be an issue. Switch back to Shirahoshi. All that special bind is gone. We got Big Mom. And then let's go ahead and kill. Okay, so far so good. Everything has been going according to plan. So we got Izo here. Oh, damn. Fossa has a 2-turn cooldown. I think he can have a cooldown between 2, 3, or 4. So 2 is really bad because he does hit really, really hard. So I think our goal here We want to kill this guy as well, but we do want to do as much damage as we can towards Fossa here. So let's see what we can do. I'm going to target Fossa. Nice. Okay, that was pretty good. So Fossa will die this next turn. We'll use their switch ability again. So Big Mom's carrying this team pretty hard. I didn't know why I switched to Shiro Man-Sherry there. I didn't need to do that. So ideally, we can hit last with Big Mom. Let's see. Can we get the kill? We can. No kill with Izo though. Man, Izo hits really hard, man. 26k, that's ridiculous. Alright, let's go ahead and switch. We'll go ahead and switch again. Make sure we got the int characters, because remember, pudding only actually boosts int characters. Shanks will boost everyone, but still, it is what it is. Stage 5, we have Jozu. So this is why I brought Jinbei, because there's actually not a lot of int characters that actually remove the 2 defensive effects that we have to remove against Jozu here. So Jinbei is going to be one of these key characters that can do that for us. Now, I am a little worried though, because I feel like I won't have enough damage for this guy. I feel like I need to activate a special, which I think I'm going to activate Shanks here. So Shanks is going to give us a pretty big buff. So Shanks is going to be able to give us a 2.25 times attack boost. And I think this is where I'm going to be using Pudding, so that we can keep that really big attack boost a little bit later on in this fight. Man, V2 Shanks, when he first dropped, he was such a game changer, man. He was so good. So Shanks is going to give us some lovely buffs, and that'll be more than enough to take him down. And then we'll go ahead and use Pudding. So Pudding special animation here, and this is where you get to see how we can actually store buffs. So remember how this works. We activate the special ability, and then we'll be prompted with which buff we want to store. We can either store the chain addition that Shanks gave us, or the attack boost. Now, honestly speaking, I think the attack boost is the safer bet. Chain boost is obviously really cool as well, because remember, we do have Big Mom that can give us an attack and an orb boost for herself, but I think the attack boost for all characters is going to be more beneficial. Plus, we can activate Big Mom's special in this content a little bit later on, which is going to give us a chain lock, and a chain addition and chain lock don't work together. So I think we'll grab the attack boost, and you can see we could like basically pick whichever one you want. We're going to grab the attack boost, and now if we hover over this, it can say that the stocked effect is going to be that attack boost that we just stored. The attack boost from Shanks is 2.25, so when we activate Pudding later on, you guys will see it will be also a 2.25 times increase. We'll go ahead and switch with Big Mom to give her an orb boost. We'll attack with everyone and then finish with Big Mom, and that should be that, I think. Alright, let's go. Let's save some slots here. Big Mom got the easy kill there. And then Jozu, what does he do exactly? So he gives us normal attacks only, okay. And then Baccarat is a rare recruit that was so good back in the day, because she just removed a bunch of different debuffs, and she also gives you an orb boost. She's like the perfect character here. So Marco says he's going to recover his HP after 3 turns. That's not really going to be a big deal for us. That's fine. So this is why we bring the Baccarat. So her special ability removes attack, down, paralysis, and chain lock all by 3 turns. Would you look at that? We have a chain lock, which is a bad chain lock, by the way. We have attack down, and we have paralysis. Like, legitimately the perfect unit. We actually used her in last week's video as well with Nami and Robin. Like, man, Baccarat, very, very good rare recruit. Used in a lot of content back in the day. Alright, so that's good. So we have that orb boost, and that is for all characters. We'll go ahead and switch with Big Mom to give her the attack and the orb boost, but it's only going to be the attack boost that's going to matter. I think what we'll do here is we'll use the characters that don't have matching slots against Marco, and then we'll switch over to Vista to use our matching slot characters to try and kill him. Let's give it a shot. Oh wow. Or we could just kill them in 1 turn. That could also work. Oh man, that was a lot of damage. Alright, so that worked out pretty well. Okay, so Whitebeard and Ace is the final stage here. This fight isn't usually that bad. Whitebeard, like, while it looks like he doesn't have a lot of health, it is still like 2 or 3 million, I think, if I remember correctly. And I think Whitebeard actually has a 2-turn cooldown. So it's really not going to be that bad. We can like kill them over 2 turns, where we could like focus on killing Ace, and then we can focus on killing Whitebeard next turn. So I think what we'll do here is we're going to go ahead and activate the special ability here of Pudding. So as we mentioned earlier, we got that 2.25 times attack boost from Shanks on the Jozu stage. and that is going to be reapplied here, which will, again, not only give us that attack boost, but remember what the special does. It changes her own slot, it will change block, empty, badly matching slots, and it also will give cooldown reduction, which is pretty cool. So it does all of that, and remember, here's the attack boost as well, where it says, where is it? Can I hover over it? There we go, 2.25 times attack boost, the exact same as what Shanks gave earlier. Let's go ahead and switch with Big Mom, and we can activate the Big Mom special, which is going to give us the base attack boost and the chain lock, so that's actually quite good for us here. The base attack boost is based off of the HP that we have, but I believe it's a 3.5 times chain lock. Yeah, 3.5 times chain lock. That's really good for us. Okay, so ideally, what we're going to do is do as much damage as we can to Ace, and then probably, if we don't kill Ace, then we'll probably kill Whitebeard with Big Mom. We want to kill Ace, though. He has a 1-turn cooldown, so that's going to be the goal here. Let's give this a go. Okay, so Whitebeard did stay alive, but we can kill over multiple turns. That's not going to be a problem. We can also use Shirahoshi and Manshiri again to give us a full board of matching slots. Remember, pudding actually does give you more damage output if you do have matching slots. This is actually really close, but I think we should have enough damage to get through it. We can't switch with Big Mom because we did use her special ability to combine into that dual form. I believe we're going to have enough damage. I believe. It was just enough damage. We just had enough firepower to get through. And there we go. We cleared the Garp challenge Whitebeard with a full int team, which back in the day would have given you a bunch of rewards. So that's pretty cool. So that's a lot of fun to go ahead and use some of these old legends again, man. Legends of OPTC, glad to be back. Hopefully we can continue this series on. Anyways, that is pretty much going to wrap it up from me today. I really hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did enjoy it, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. On that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.